I hope everybody's doing well. Here's a thing that came to my mind. You ever heard of the terminology of buy-in? What buy-in really means is letting the trainees know that you care about them and that their actions affect how you review with your peers and your supervision. But that's something you need to be doing anyway. If they know you care, they're less likely to do things behind your back so they honor you. So here are some of the things that I do that makes and keeps my flight disciplined for majority of the time in BMT. Now, I didn't say that they're going to be perfect, but the thing is that you want conviction that when you correct them, that they're like, oh man, I let him down. I know that he cares. You want to give them that guilt. And when you give them that guilt, it causes a transformation in their mind and in their heart. So the very first thing I do is, in the early weeks of training, I'm chilling. When I mean by chilling is, I didn't say that I'm chilling as in like, I'm going to let them get away with everything. I understand where they're going. And I understand that they don't really get the objectives quite yet. And sometimes you have to be a tactile learner. You have to be immersed in a situation over and over and over again for them to get good at it. So I tell them, hey, this is Mercy Week. First week of training, Mercy Week. I want you to make mistakes and I want you to learn from your mistakes. But remember, every mistake that you make affects me as your leader. So I'm going to try to be as understanding as possible. But remember, when you look good, I look good. And then I reward them when they go above and beyond their weeks of training. When they go above and beyond their maturity level in that week of training, I reward them because I appreciate it. And also, you're viewed by everybody around you like, oh, that's only a first week flight. And their dress and cover looks really good. And on and so forth. You become very dependable when somebody needs help with anything because your flights are starting to progress earlier than anticipated. So, like I said, step one, Mercy Week. First week of training, I'm chilling. I let them know, hey, there's only so much patience I can have. I told you about this. I taught you about this. I expect you to execute. If they didn't do it on purpose and they did it because it's been a habit for 18 years of their life, I might be able to get past it, but I always reemphasize, don't make me look like an idiot. I appreciate that. Go, do your thing, bye. And then they push on. Another thing that I do is during facilitation time. Now, I'm not a smiler, because smiling, it sets them up for failure because they'll smile around everybody else, and I don't want to. I want to always be locked, cocked, ready to rock. I always try to make facilitation very personable. I want it to eat at their heart. I want them to eat at some of the corrosive habits that they have before they came in, and I want to eat it up so that by the time they graduate, they're a new person. So many times I've had trainees go, I'm a totally new creation, a new creature, a new person. They're telling me all these things and they're saying, thank you, thank you, thank you. And sometimes they're just, you can see them now, they're holding back their tears because they've heard that they needed to change for so long, but they didn't have the strength and the motivation to be able to change. So one of those things that I do is facilitation, make your money there. Facilitation is there for a reason. Now, it's not there just for you to get in and get out. Make it purposeful. Because there are some trainers that are really listening to what you say. Another thing that I enjoy doing is playing obedient, disciplined games like Knockout. I'll play Knockout because it tests their obedience and their timing of that obedience, and it's a competition, because competition breeds excellence. So I don't do any tricks like left, heart, or something like that. I'll sit there and go left, haze, right, haze, left, haze, about, haze, left, haze. If you lost your balance, you're out. Maintain that discipline the whole entire time. If I put them in line or inverted line, I'll tell them, hey, if I call cover, don't do it, because you can only do that in column and inverted column. So don't do it. So then I'll add left, haze, right, cover. And if they move, they're out. And they're getting taught this discipline. And then I'll start flanking them right flanking them to the rear, right flanking them to the rear, over and over. Extend hearts, forward hearts, close hearts. Sometimes I won't call forward march in between. If they do the drill movement, they out. And I'll do that when I have a little bit of time. And I always fall out 15 minutes before chow. Always. Because I want to get a chance to play these games, to make them better at the marching craft. Because remember, drill is a symbol of the discipline that's inside of each and every trainee, to include you. So that's the third thing that I do to really gain that buy-in, but that let them know that I care about their proficiency. The fourth thing that I do is when I'm in the dining facility, I'm in the dining facility. I'm not talking to any other MTI really, unless I know that they're crushing the DFAC procedures. So the first couple weeks, like the first 4 weeks they're in my flight, I'm making sure that their heels are coming together with snap. And if they come together with snap, then it makes a noise. It makes a sound. Like when they come to my door, they got to do a left face or right face depending on, you know, what side they're coming on. And that's their knock at my door. They'll knock their heels and then they'll knock on the door. So I want 2 knocks, but not from the same body part. One from your heels and one from your knuckles. And that's it. And I apply that in the dining facility. So anytime the lesson plan says, bring your heels together with snap, it's going to make a noise. Like on that left step, right step. Your heels come together with snap. So I expect to hear a noise. It doesn't say bring your heels together with snap for drill movements that are stationary. However, I do encourage it. It doesn't say that you don't have to do it. I just add that in there because I want them to remember when the heels come together, it's always purposeful. And when everybody comes together with snap together, it sounds so good. And the flight knows it, and everybody around the flight knows it too. So creating that thunder, they'll never forget you because of all these little things that you're doing. And then finally, holding them accountable and making all their failures about you. Like I always tell my flight, what did I do to you? How did I not set you up for success? Tell me what I need to do, because I'm coming to work being a failure, and I'm going to take responsibility of all your failures. Just like when you become a leader, you need to assume those failures of your airmen. Stop letting me down. Stop stabbing me in my back. And no matter how many times you stab me in my back, I will always give you my 100%. I will never fail you. And then walk away. That right there is going to allow them to understand the real concept of what a wingman is all about. It's about grace, mercy, telling people what it is, how it is, no matter if they're your friend, your wingman, or whatever type of relationship you have with this person. Your core values are very, very important. Just because somebody drops their core values doesn't mean that you drop yours. So you're creating that example for them to follow. I covered a lot of things, but in the end of the day, these 5 things are going to help you gain that buy-in that you need for your flights. And remember, it's not a game that you're playing. It's not a game. It's creating an environment of trust between you and them. So don't forget how important this is each and every day. Each and every day. And I want to top this off with praise. Positive reinforcement in an MTI tool. You have to understand that when you verbally praise something, it means that they're meeting the mark. That means that they're doing something well, and they probably never heard anything like that in their life. And you got to understand, they're in an environment of very, very low mercy. They're in basic military training, and we don't got time for all these mistakes. But we say, hey, that was a phenomenal job, and then walk away. You're giving them something. You're feeding them. You are allowing them to recover from the damage back at home if they never receive that positive reinforcement from maybe a male role model that they've always wanted to hear hey, you're doing a great job, son, or you're doing a great job, daughter. You're allowing them to reset that in their life. And it's the only way they're going to be a great leader, is that they have to reset a broken foundation, because you can't build on a broken foundation. So just keep that all in mind. Love your faces. Talk to you later.